Greetings, Wilds and Tame Souls. I'm Lucinda Bakken-White, and today we're going to talk about Kendal's interaction with twin baby deer. The first time I ever encountered deer was on a walk through my neighborhood, coming face to face with a mother deer and her baby. I froze in my tracks and watched amazed as the mother and the baby wandered into a small wooded area along my path. This was very unexpected because I live in suburban South Carolina, surrounded by a golf course. Shortly after this encounter, the mother deer would explore my yard every few days. Sometimes one deer comes alone, other times the deer comes along with two babies to nurse. I'm starting to wonder if the two adult deers are actually different. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but it is interesting and it reminds me of a story that I had because when I used to spend a lot of time writing in our living room, it's a room full of windows, but I had planted thickets all around this room and noticed once when I looked outside the window that a mama deer had birthed her two babies, twins, which is really common for deers to birth two. They can birth one, two, or three typically, but two is the norm. And so I was able to watch their behavior, and I noticed that she would only take out one at a time until they could get their environment and understand what's going on and weren't so vulnerable, and then she brought out two. So it could be that it was the same deer the entire time. But what's happening here is you're having your first encounters with deer, which is so special and precious. And I happen to know that you don't spend a lot of time in nature, so this is sort of an awakening for you, and the deer is the call back to the wild, because as humans got more and more disconnected from the wilderness, what brought them back into the forest was hunting, and the deer is the primary food that people would go into the forest to hunt. So it's considered the lure back to the wild. But what's also interesting about these deer is that they're doe. It's the mother, the feminine deer, mothering and nurturing and nursing babies. So that's symbolic of something inside you, that you have created something new that's perhaps already birthed. It could be a project or a relationship, and you are mothering that. So it's a beautiful sign, a beautiful lure into the wild, and a beautiful indication of your creative, gentle nature. I traveled to California and reunited with my very close friends a month or two after my first deer encounter. And about 2 weeks into this trip, I called home and was informed that the deer have not visited since I left. I wonder what it all means. Well, there you go. It was clearly a message for you because no one else saw these deer. And when you left, they left. So that's a beautiful story, and I hope that everybody is called back to the wild, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.